On the campus of Iowa Central Community College, this is TRITONCAST.
It's homecoming week here at Iowa Central, and the energy on campus is hard to miss.
That's right, from music and performances to athletics and students' events. There has been something happening every day to bring Tritons together.
We've got to look at all the highlights and the way students, alumni, and the community are celebrating.
Decker Auditorium was the place to be as American Idol winner, and more importantly, decorated Iowa Central alumni Maddie Poppy came to town on Wednesday. With the auditorium filled with Iowa Central students, both past and present, Poppy performed a wide array of songs with both originals and covers of many classic hits. What a great way to continue the celebrations of the Iowa Central Homecoming Week. Our very own digital media students were able to sit down and talk to Maddie. Here is a sneak peek of that interview.
Let's start with Iowa Central questions.
Okay.
All right. What first brought you to Iowa Central, and what were your initial impressions of the campus and the community?
My initial impression of Iowa Central was, this is a community college. It's like, you think it was like a four-year. It's a pretty impressive place, and they have everything. And all of their programs and sports teams were really successful. And I was like, I need to go here.
The Iowa Central football team is gearing up for their big homecoming game this weekend. We caught up with Coach Montalto.
Tritons are ready to light up Dodger Stadium in a must-watch matchup against Dodge City Community College. Iowa Central is looking to bounce back after a tough stretch. The team showed explosive potential early in the season and will be aiming to recapture the spark in front of a packed home crowd. Dodge City enters with momentum. Fresh off a dominant win over Highland last year, they stunned the Tritons with a 25-24 comeback victory, scoring the game winner in the final minute. This time, it's personal. Expect intensity, big plays, and a fired-up Triton squad, ready to defend their turf. Here's Landon Jepson with Iowa Central's head coach.
So from the start of the year and until now, have you changed anything in your guys' practices to, adapt to the competition and everything? Because we were at practice today, and probably the amount of conditioning that you guys do now is probably not as much as the start of the year, but it's still nice to bring it in and everything.
Yeah, and we're always trying to evolve as a program with what we're doing, and but still have structure and consistency. So our practice plans, for the most part, are very, very similar throughout the season. Obviously, way different in fall camp as we're continuing to try to get those guys into shape for gameplay. Once we get into our season and actual true structure of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practices, we're more trying to get our kids mentally ready to play. At this point, we hope that they're ready physically. We hope that they're ready from a conditioning standpoint. We just got to make sure that they understand the game plan and what they need to do and how they need to continue to progress forward. So, yeah, not a whole lot of running today, but we try to really emphasize our conditioning with the way that we practice with tempo.
As a head coach, what do you say to the players, before every game, or just before practice or after practice, scrimmages, whatever? What do you say to them to just get them in the moment, or just bring their spirits back up if you had a rough game?
Yeah, and I'm not a big motivational guy when it comes to speeches. We expect our kids to be motivated. Obviously they have a whole ton to play for, whether that's success within our program, success trying to get themselves to the next level, and try to earn a Division I scholarship. So our kids are pretty motivated week in, week out. But yeah, like I said, we're just trying to make sure that we hammer on the game plan, the emphasis of the week. So whether that's chasing and running to the football on both sides of the ball, whether that's playing with great tempo, whether that's playing physical that week, or make sure that we're disciplined in what we're doing. We'll always have some kind of point of emphasis. We have 4 points of emphasis for every practice, and that always changes. And then obviously we have our game plan within itself, whether we want to win special teams, win the turnover battle, whatever it may be that we want to really hammer down on before the games.
On Tuesday, September 30th, Iowa Central held one of their monthly virtual bingo nights. Virtual bingo nights allow students to play the popular game from the comfort of their own dorms. A student played, Violet Hopkins says.
At first it was a little weird because they didn't post the link or email the link out, so I had to go on the Iowa Central activities page. But I think it was a good experience. There was students from a bunch of different schools on last night, and you could win prizes depending on what school you attended, and it was fun overall. I didn't win anything, but
Tuesday also brought the Iowa Central volleyball game. They went up against the Des Moines Area Community College in Hodges Fieldhouse. The Tritons won 3-0. Tritons have advanced 7-0 in the conference. Their overall record is now 19-6.
Kicking off homecoming week, karaoke was held at the SRC on Monday, September 29th from 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. There were students going up to sing a variety of different songs, along with people cheering, applauding. For everyone who went up and sang, there was food and drinks. There were for people to have. So if you want to show your singing talents, make sure to keep up on Iowa Central event calendar or Iowa Central show media, social media.
Sung karaoke tonight because my dad and his best friend do a lot of karaoke and whatnot, and I've always wanted to try it. I tried it when I was about 8, and I'm like, hey, this is pretty fun. I mean, I didn't know half the words of the song I was singing then, but...
On Thursday night, students, staff, and community members gathered in Hodges Fieldhouse for the homecoming pep rally. The event began at 7 p.m. and ran until 7:45. After the rally, the crowd moved outside to the football practice field parking lot, where carnival rides, food, and games kept the celebration going. The night showed strong Triton spirit and helped build excitement leading into the homecoming weekend.
While a lot of students are out enjoying the homecoming festivities, one group in particular has a lot to work on these 2 weeks ahead of showtime. 2 weeks ahead of showtime, the cast of the Brothers Grimm Spectacular-thon is moving away from reading off the book and focusing more on character development. In addition, the set design is nearly complete and put together on stage for the cast to rehearse on. Most of the cast has also tried on their costumes, and the week prior with now have a special interview with Iowa Central's new director of theater, Sean Multiville. He says he wanted to go to theater since he was young.
Well, when I was a kid, I saw a production of Peter Pan. It was a touring production, and I remember I was probably about 6 years old, and I remember looking up, and I could see the actors flying up above the stage, and I said, I want to do that. That looks awesome.
Thanks for joining us as we celebrated all the events and spirit across campus.
We'll see you next time. Until then, go Tritons!